Hello everyone, welcome to the 120 Q&A practice. We're going to start off with a transcript that starts with the plaintiff attorney. I'm going to give you a word list. You're going to hear vehicle, which is V long E-K, veek, vicinity, residence, department, which is D-E-P-T, motorcycle, M-O-I-K, moik, and then Harley Davidson. The way I write that is H-A-R-L, and then I come back for D long A-F-D. That's how I write Harley Davidson, H-A-R-L, come back for D long A-F-D. And that really shortens it to 2 strokes. Okay, so we're going to start out with plaintiff. Ready? Remembering back to February 28, at that time, were you in the vicinity of this courthouse and police department? Yes, I was. Did you have a vehicle with you at that time? Yes, I did. What kind? Well, I had a Harley Davidson. That is a motorcycle? A motorcycle. That was your vehicle, was it? Yes, it was. Do you know the motor number? Do you have that in your possession? No. Did you park your vehicle? Yes, I did. Where? In the back, in the parking lot. On that same day, did you find your vehicle missing? I did. Did you ever see that vehicle or any part of it again? Yes, I did. Where? In that individual's house. I don't know what his name is. I don't recall his name offhand. Was that at the defendant's residence? Yes, it was. At the time you examined the parts of your motorcycle, were they on your motorcycle? No, the parts were on his motorcycle. Do these pictures depict that Harley Davidson motorcycle? Yes. Okay, switching over to another transcript. I've got a car accident. This is going to be defense. Do you remember the date of the accident? It was Good Friday. It was March 29th, I believe. I'm not really sure. What year? 2011. How old were you then? 12. Are you 14 now? Yes. What is your birthday? June 13th. Isn't that right? Is it June 13th? So your birthday is June 13th, 1999. Thank you. Where do you live? Hesperia. Do you have the street address, please? Yes, 14657 Eucalyptus. How long have you lived there? 12 years. And who do you live there with? My mom and my sister. Is that your sister Jennifer? Yes. How old is Jennifer now? She's 12. Okay, do you go to school? Yes. What school do you go to? Hesperia High. Are you in 8th grade? 9th. I knew that one. What time of day did this accident occur? I really don't know around what time, but I'd say 1. I'm not really sure. Is that an approximation? Yes. 1 p.m.? Uh-huh. Is that a yes? Yes. Don't worry. We'll try to catch them. Where were you coming from? I was coming from my home. And who was driving? My mom. Was there anybody else in the car other than you and your mom? My sister. Jennifer? Yes. And your mom, your mother? Pam. She's sitting to your right? Yes. Anybody else other than the 3 of you in the car? No. Was it a car or was it a truck? It was a truck. Who owned that truck? Do you know? My mom. And where were you seated in the truck? In the middle. Was Jennifer seated to the right? Yes. And your mother was driving? Yes, she was to the left of, yeah, that's right, isn't it? Now, the truck that you had, did it have 3 individual seat belts? Yes. So it wasn't bucket seats. It was one long seat. It was one long seat. You'll see it in the transcript. It's going to be jumbled. He'll state a question, and then there will be your answer. And then the rest of the question will be stated. So wait until he finishes, and he'll try to give you the same courtesy, okay? Okay. So you were in the middle. Jennifer was in the right? Yes. How far from your home did this accident occur? Around a mile, mile and a half. Where were you headed? To Riverside. Did you have business in Riverside? Relatives. You were going to visit relatives? Yes. Was it for the Easter weekend? Yes. You didn't have school that day, did you? Yes, my mom took us out a little bit early. Did your mother pick you up from school? Yes. And then she took you home and you packed your bags and then you left? Yes, and we ate. Okay, I see. Did you make any stops between your home and the accident? Yes, we went to a Shell gas station. Where is this Shell gas station? On the corner of Mariposa and Bear Valley. I assume that was to get gas in the truck, right? Yes. Did your mother have the car checked or anything like that before she left from the gas station? No. By that I mean, did anybody look under the hood or check the tires? Oh no. What street did this accident occur on? Bear Valley. Was it an intersection? Well, we were stopped for a stoplight, but it was like a row of cars, so yes. Were there a row of cars ahead of you? Yes. And that was the stoplight that was ahead? Yes. Do you know what the intersection is where the stoplight is? It's not really an intersection. It's over an overpass, a signal. Gosh, it was so long ago because they've changed Bear Valley Road now. It's all different. What I'm interested in is what it looked like on the day of the accident in 2011. Was the traffic signal there at the freeway access, the freeway on-ramp? I'm pretty sure it was because we were going to go onto I'd say yeah. Okay, I'm just going to switch transcripts one more time so we get a variety. Back to the store robbery. Okay, and this is going to be defense attorney. Before they committed the crime? Yes, sir. In other words, if there was no money in the cash register, they presumably would not want to commit the crime. They did not indicate that. In other words, the impression you got is that regardless of whether there was no money in the cash register, they would have attempted to commit a robbery. That was my impression. Even though he stated his purpose to go in was to determine how much money was in the cash register? Yes, sir. Was Mr. Heron to give some sort of signal after he had determined how much money was in the cash register? No, sir. Wasn't that the strike that? Did you question him as to what the purpose of his ascertaining how much money was in the cash register, what the purpose was? No, sir. Weren't you curious as to what that purpose was if they were going to commit the crime regardless of whether there was any money? Objection argumentative. Sustained. Your Honor, I think you have a situation here where it's obvious that one person was to make a determination whether or not there was enough money in the register to warrant the commission of such a crime. What you have is mere preparation, and that it seems to me to be fairly obvious that the purpose was to give some sort of a sign, and there is no indication that such a sign was given. In other words, the plan was not followed. The other two people came in on their own and committed the crime. That's what I'm trying to establish. You think that's of some assistance to the defendant and has some relevancy on the question of whether or not he's involved? I think it goes to the question of whether there was active participation or mere participation on his part. Overruled. Answer the question. Could the question be read back? I think you can ask it easier. Weren't you interested in finding out what the purpose of Mr. Heron's going into this store to find out how much money was in the cash register? I'll object again. It's irrelevant whether he was interested or not. Well, it's getting to the issue. Overruled. You may answer. Yes, it was obvious why he was going to check the register. Why? To see how much money was in the register. Okay, and that concludes our Q&A for the 120 class. Have a great day.